Are we back once again? We're going to look at VIX, SPY, QQQ, Tesla, Apple, and Nvidia. First thing I like to do is look at this VIX here, and we're sitting here parked right at these walls, 25, 24, and this is what expires on Wednesday. So I would expect if 25 does break, it's probably right to 28. But we'll have to watch this over time. But there's definitely some room to that area. We can see this curve here is sort of taking us up into the 30-35 range. Very, very unlikely to get up into here, but 28, pretty reasonable. And then, but you got the zero gamma here, so we're in a positive gamma environment, but it's likely as time goes on to see this expire and kind of essentially not push VIX down, but sort of attract VIX back, probably underneath this 25, more towards this 21 level. And then you got SPY, which right to 390 wall. Basically, of course, it's Friday, so why wouldn't we expire right at this 390? Maybe a trip down to 386, 387. That's going to be Monday's expected range. You can see March 27th, 386, and about 450. You can see the cumulative GEX. So this would be the vol trigger, but it's really it's more like a vol trigger wall, not just a line. I would say 393 is probably the limit, maybe a 395 for the upside today. Again, that could change, but a lot of this is going to expire, but this is all negative GEX. So I would expect some volatility in, this little area here, given that the most GEX here is on 393, and you don't have really any kind of tapering going on here on the upside. So probably going to see a move into those lower bounds here, 385, 386. If they could even get it up through that 393, but an attempt higher, always expect that, and I would not be surprised. This is for today. This was the GEX in for the 98 days. Here's just for today. Again, that 395, 394 coming in. It's the same cumulative GEX line right here. You're seeing some resistance coming in here, 393 and 394. So going to be really hard to get through that. If we tried to push through that, I would love to see a sell back into like 386. Right, that would be such a great little trade. For Qs, a little bit of a different story. Qs are kind of transitioning still from being super bullish. If you had watched some of my previous videos, we talked about watching QQQ lately because it was so bullish into the last expiry last week. So I think a lot of this is just going to be coming off here and transitioning into a more of a picture that's going to be more like SPY. So, or IWM if we look at IWM, which I don't really plan on it, but so I would expect another attempt higher, maybe 313 on Qs, maybe 315. You can kind of see the cumulative gamma looks a little bit different. So there's sort of this hump right here, and moving up into these levels here would not be a surprise to me as we head back up in here, allow some of this to get closed out, a lot of it to expire, and then push us back lower. The expected range being 303 and 317. So definitely all that is in play right now. And this is just for today. So yeah, we still have some positive GEX here. You can see how that kind of lines up here, right? 313 with this, the tapering that happens here on the cumulative GEX line happens right around that 313, and you can see that here as well. So the 313 on Qs would not surprise me, and then seeing sort of a move back down into these levels to start transitioning into the SPY picture. Tesla very bullish. I've been just sitting here short an iron condor on this from 200 to 190 and just letting it bounce back and forth. I expect the same kind of movements, just kind of holding that 390 and staying in between 200. into the expiry today. So tough trade on Tesla. Just want to be short on premiums there. Where's the zero gamma? Zero gamma is still way up here. Yeah, there's no real zero gamma. Sorry, I'm looking for it. Yeah. So you can still see the zero gamma on Tesla. A lot of times that just disappears. That usually means that it's extremely bearish. But there's the zero gamma on Apple, way up here. So Apple, I'm expecting some transition on Apple to be pretty bearish going into probably the next couple weeks. You can kind of see the GEX on it. It's positive, expiring today, so expect to sell on it as all that expires, and then it's starting to transition negative for the next couple expiries. So Apple, I'm pretty bearish on. Probably get some puts on that. Nvidia, trying to battle this thing. It's still positive on the gamma for the next couple weeks, and so this is sort of a difficult trade to short, and so it's transitioning as well, in my opinion, to a negative sort of profile, but right now it's still pretty positive. I would expect some pressure if it tries to move higher. A sell, I don't know. I sort of had this idea that it was probably going to close around this 265 today, just because of the way I've been watching it and tracking it. So hopefully this helps you. Hopefully it makes sense, and we'll see you next time. Peace.